Yeah, we continue here on Bickley Marotta Mornings, live from Salt River Field to Talking Stick. And it is our pleasure to welcome to the show Diamondbacks closer Paul Sewald, who sits down with us. Paul, thanks for joining us.
Of course. I'm
just tangled up in my own credential here. Sorry about that. Off-season. It was not the regular off-season for a lot of guys on this team, but really not for you. New addition to the family, correct?
Yeah, it was a little shorter than normal, and then we snuck in our second daughter.
Congratulations.
At the end of off-season, right before we came down here, so it was good. So we did a lot of nesting this off-season more than anything.
Yes.
Bye, hon. I'm off to camp. Have fun with the diapers.
No, the whole crew came down. The whole crew came down. So we were a circus of multiple cars and trailers and in-laws, and then we all made it down here.
Caravan, yeah.
So here's where I want to start with this, because you were such a great addition to the team. People have talked repeatedly how you locked down the entire bullpen, how you, being the closer, allowed everybody to succeed in the roles they were meant to succeed in. All that being said, how hard was it to process Game 1 of the World Series for a guy who knows the ups and downs and the vagaries of your position, and you got to flush stuff? World Series, was that harder? How did you handle that?
I don't think it was any harder. I mean, I try to take every game seriously. Obviously there's more reporters at the World Series than there would be in a game in June. But I don't want to blow saves in April, in June, or Game 1 of the World Series. So, it was devastating and it was disappointing. There's no telling if we would have won the World Series had we won that game or still lost. So I've tried to flush it in the fact that there's nothing I can do about it now. It was disappointing in the moment, and more than anything, I just hope I get another chance to pitch in the World Series and do my job a little bit better.
On the subject of the bullpen coming together, we talked to Joe Mantiply, who had been here, and he saw that whole bullpen come together, and it was so unexpected. What was it like from your perspective to be traded at the deadline from a team that was in contention from Seattle to come here and just to see everything kind of fall into place? It doesn't happen that often with bullpens. They're so dicey.
Yeah, I mean, I had gotten so accustomed to the best part of the team was the bullpen. That's what we had in Seattle for the 3 years I was there, and we had our thing, and we were pretty good, and it was a pretty good group, and so that's where my standard and my expectation of what the bullpen should look like, and I came over here and everyone kept talking about how poor it was and how everyone was struggling, and we just did a little by little to get everybody kind of locked into their spot, and it's always nice to pitch after Gink because he's dominating, and then Ryan Thompson came in and really did his job in the seventh, and so we kind of like you said, everyone kind of just fell into place, and it's so much easier to pitch when you know your role. You're not pitching the sixth or the ninth on any given night. You just know this is my pocket of hitters in any given situation, and then 7, 8, 9 is locked down by guys, and I just think everyone reached their peak potential knowing exactly what their role was and able to focus on, okay, these hitters are my focus, and it's so much easier when you can really limit your focus and not have this general, I don't know when I'm going to pitch, who I'm going to pitch against, and you can kind of really lock in. I think everyone did a great job of doing their own homework to make sure they were prepared.
Now you are adding or have added a changeup to your repertoire. How's that going? Is that going to be a part of your? Is that going to be part of the
arsenal? It's 1 for 1. I got somebody out on it the other day in Tempe, so it's the greatest pitch of all time at this point. So we're going to give it more of a sample size than one batter, and then we're going to go from there. So if you're not evolving or getting better in this league, you're going to get passed up. I don't think I need another pitch. It would be nice if I had another plus pitch, and so we're going to work on it, and we're going to see if we think we can continue to use it and continue to work on it. If it's not good enough, then I'll scrap it, and I've been pretty good with the 2 that I have, but I have not been an all-star, and I'd like to have all-star numbers and all-star caliber stuff, and so if I can take a 1% leap, a 5% leap into being a better pitcher, and I could get something like that, that would be fantastic. And I'm going to be facing guys for the 10th, 12th time since I've made this change in my career and kind of turned the corner. And it would be nice to have a third pitch as you face guys and kind of show them something different. You speak at Game 1 now. Corey's a great player, and just because I have a changeup doesn't mean I'm going to get him out any. But the fact that he's faced me so many times, it's a little bit of a challenge against me. And Shohei, I faced him a dozen times when he was in Anaheim, and now he's in my division again. So just something,
joy.
Just something. Yeah, it's great. It's great. Good news is I don't hit, so I didn't have to face him that way. But he's quite a handful on the one side. So just you're just facing guys for so many times, and you have to try and give them a different look. And if you only have 2 pitches, it's not that I can't do it. It just is a little bit more of a challenge. It would be nice to have something else.
Paul Sewald, our guest here on Bickley Marotta Mornings. We sat down with Mike Hazen last week, and one of the questions was, is it weird you didn't have to address the bullpen this year? I think the word he used was uneasy. It made him uneasy, but he's uneasy about a lot of things. That's a credit to you guys and the way you nailed things down. How weird is it that you're coming back to a bullpen completely returning as a group? That's also very rare.
Like I said, that's what we've had the last few years where I've been. It's kind of been like, no, that's we have the bullpen that we need, and those guys will be just fine. And I want us to be a strength of the team, just like we were down the stretch and in the postseason. And that's everyone just needs to focus while they're here and make sure that they're at their best when we leave on March 28th. And I knew that we had a good enough bullpen, and I'm glad that they thought we did too. And we're gonna do our best to make sure that we're doing our job and we're locking down games.
Well, I really want to thank the Seattle Mariners for doing their best to help our baseball team in Arizona. Not just you, but Gino, who's you spent time with for a couple of seasons. What does he bring to a clubhouse? I hear about him being a glue guy and just the infectious personality. What's he bringing to the mix?
So we traded for him. 22 season was where we had the lockout, and so we went right to spring training, and then there were moves, and we traded for him and Jesse Winker in the middle of spring training, and he showed up the first day, and half of his hair was blonde, half of his hair was bleached blonde, and the other half was jet black like it is, and everyone's like, man, this guy's a little weird. He had no sleeves, and he kind of just shows up, and they call him up to the front like, what's the deal? And he just flexes like, good vibes only, and it was just like, all right, you're right, you're going to bring good vibes, and that's what Gino does better than anything is if we need to work hard, he'll be the hardest worker. If we need some lighthearted stuff, he'll bring the lighthearted stuff, and he's just an incredible teammate, an incredible person, and let alone an incredible player with plenty of power and a Gold Glove snub last season. So I think everyone's going to be really excited to get to see 162 games of Gino. I can't wait to have him back there again.
That's great.
Paul, I just looked up your numbers against Shohei. Pretty good, man.
What is it? What are they?
Yeah, well, the one he hit was the catcher,
9 miles?
Hey, I'm on Baseball Reference. It doesn't show distance.
The catcher went to block the ball. It was in the dirt, and he still managed to hit a homer. So,
wow.
2 for 12 against Paul Sewald. Shohei is 167.
Oh, that's fantastic.
He struck him out 8 times.
He's being modest.
There's a reason Mike traded for him.
Right.
I was pretty good.
I'm sure it's still not very fun to face.
I'll still take anybody other than those 3. That would be just fine.
Yeah.
No matter if I've had success or not.
So many people, and I began the interview very awkwardly by talking about a failure of a closer in the World Series. So many people talk about that element. What about the rush of successfully closing a game, of being able to walk in that clubhouse knowing that you put that thing in the icebox?
Yeah, there's literally nothing better. That's why I pitch. That's why I pitch, right? To blow a fastball by somebody to end the game and let it out is that's the best feeling in the entire world. That's why I get up in the mornings and come to work, and that's why you work hard in the off season. It's for those moments. So I cherish them as much as anybody, and I enjoy them. And people hit homers and they can pimp homers, but if they strike out to end the game, they're going to hear it from me too.
It's only fair, man.
Fantastic.
Hey, it's just the way it goes.
That's the way it goes.
Well, thanks so much for stopping by.
You're great,
great
Paul.
to talk
Thanks
to you.
for having me on.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for watching Bickley and Marotta. Click to see the latest Bickley Blast and hit the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.